Same shit that everybody else been saying since I moved to 147. I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? You gonna be just like everybody else. Watch. Watch.
Canelo versus Crawford coming up soon. The heat is not going away anytime soon. Just like at the last news conference, Canelo and Crawford were caught using racial slurs. The whole thing started when Canelo was asked about the fight they had at the previous press conference.
I didn't. He did before. He tried to welcome me back, and it just was my reaction. That's it. I think he don't did them because he really wanted to do. I think Turki Al-Ashi told him, you need to do something. And he did. He did. And now...
After the news conference, Crawford said again that he was laughing at Canelo's crazy behavior and that he likes all the drama.
After that, as you can see, you know, I love things like that. You know, it excites me. I'm more motivated than ever now.
The last news conference, Terence Crawford talked about how Canelo Alvarez shoved him during the fight. In addition, he said that the push had not scared him in any way and had nothing to do with the fight plan he was using.
Nothing. You know what I mean? Like, that little push didn't do nothing, as you can see. But come fight time, we're not going to be pushing, we're going to be punching. So it doesn't even matter.
In addition to the last news conference, there was a face-off with a death stare during this one. New boxing organizer Dana White, who was actually signed with the UFC, had to stop them. It's not just a war. Two men will fight in the same ring in this once-in-a-lifetime event. They have beaten opponents in every weight class, won as many titles as they had prizes, and shut down critics everywhere. After thinking about his fight with Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo Alvarez talked about how this experience motivates him. He thought about how Saunders had behaved and acted before the fight, which made him so angry that he went into the ring to fight more violently and angrily, by saying that he gave the impression that he would go through something similar in his fight with Crawford.
For Bud Crawford, you know, a lot of MMA fans, UFC fans, may not have ever seen you fight before, and they might tune in because Dana and the UFC are involved. So what has it been like maybe introducing yourself to a lot of MMA fans?
There are things Crawford said that Canelo Alvarez didn't like, especially when Crawford said that he didn't think it was important to live up to other people's standards. Canelo says that Crawford almost seemed to have something to prove or someone to talk about at the press meeting.
A bit more personal because, you know, I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that. And then he tried to, maybe Turki Al-Ashi told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So and he tried to like he welcomed me back, and that's why I pushed him. And you know, like I say, don't fuck with me.
Does it bring a different Canelo then?
Yeah, it's different.
During the news conference, Canelo made a similar claim. He told the media and boxing staff that the nose during the last fight may have been caused by Turki telling Crawford to walk him down. He told Crawford that if he messed with him, his career would end.
Before, I respect his word because he say, oh, I'm not gonna let somebody to tell me what I need to do. And he did. So, but you know me. Just, I respect everybody, but if you f me, so it's gonna be different. You know.
Listen.
Hey, we know, buddy. We know.
First and foremost.
We know.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford got into a heated argument during the argument. Crawford said he was scared because of stories going around in the Canelo camp. He said that he turned up in front of Canelo to show him that he wasn't afraid and to give a hint that he was making the plans for the fight. Canelo later said that he never did this himself, stating what Crawford's uncle said.
Somebody was in a room saying that I was scared of them. So I stepped to him and showed him who was the boss of this fight. I ain't scared of shit.
Hey, I never say that. Your uncle say that, not me.
Even though he keeps saying it, Crawford says he doesn't fear anyone. At their last news conference, he told everyone that he wasn't afraid to go up to Canelo, who is a naturally big fighter. Canelo will find that out when they fight.
Scared of shit. And you're gonna find that out. As you seen, the last press conference,
We'll see.
when I walked you down, when you supposed to be the bigger man.
Yeah, hey, you say that because you fighting with nobody, and you obviously look like you're a great fighter. But you find out September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
And it's gonna be different from you as well.
On one side is Canelo Alvarez, a Mexican superstar and the undisputed super middleweight champion. With 39 knockouts, 63 victories, and only 2 defeats, he has faced some of the biggest names in boxing, including Gennady Golovkin, Caleb Plant, Sergey Kovalev, Miguel Cotto, and many more. And even though fighters and fans have been talking non-stop about how huge this matchup is, Canelo has kept the excitement in check. He felt a little pressure at first, but now he knows this is one of the biggest nights of his career.
The presser yesterday, and I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's a big lump, so I was always Canelo. Then I sort of leant towards Bud, but now I'm back with Canelo. So
Canelo's an all-time great. He's an incredible fighter, and look, I actually think this is a bad fight for him because
Eddie Hearn says he is leaning slightly toward Canelo, but he also made it clear that this is not an easy fight for either man. Hearn explained that Crawford's unique style, sharp reactions, smooth movement, and constant adjustments can turn the ring into a chessboard, forcing Canelo to figure things out as the fight unfolds.
he'll engage a lot more than Skull, but he will be looking to do all the things where people have had success, which is use movement. Look at what Bivol did. Bivol had the perfect game plan. He boxed up the back foot, then he attacked, then he moved, then he, all that kind of stuff. And I think Crawford will be looking to do exactly.
Hearn also said that Crawford views this fight as much more than a big payday or another championship. For him, this is the moment that truly matters. Hearn explained that Crawford sees this as his opportunity to rise beyond being known as a technical genius and instead secure his place among the sport's all-time greats. According to Hearn, Crawford isn't chasing power or recognition. His mission is to leave a lasting legacy.
A fight that's probably quite personal to him to prove himself as a great. And there is no doubt that if he wins this fight, he's a great. He's a pound for pound tremendous fighter. But
as the obvious concern in the matchup, the size difference had to be addressed. Crawford, weighing 147 pounds, was a natural welterweight, while Canelo had long ruled as the 168-pound champion. The jump in weight was impossible to ignore. Still, Crawford kept calling out Canelo's name again and again. What made things interesting was that Canelo didn't shut the idea down. Instead of closing the door, he left it slightly open, willing to consider the fight if the business side made sense.
47, obviously 154 now. But the money's the money, and he was never going to turn it down.
In his career, Canelo went from being a young prospect to becoming one of the biggest stars in all of sports, a pay-per-view attraction who fought and defeated champions across 4 different weight classes. Canelo built his own kingdom both inside and outside the ring. He is known for his iron chin, punishing body shots that break opponents down, and sharp, powerful counterpunches. At the news conference, he appeared calmer and more relaxed than Bud. He spoke about how he felt working with Dana White and the event organizers to prepare for this massive event. Canelo said he noticed how well White and UFC fighters work together and made it clear he doesn't see boxing and the UFC as competitors. "People act like we're competing, but I'm not," he said. "I've always liked Dana White. I admire and respect every UFC fighter. I believe that if we all work together, we can achieve great things. I'm excited to work with Dana White, Netflix, and everyone else involved in this huge fight. I'm glad to choose this guy. He knows I've always liked him." This time, Crawford is a different challenge for everyone. Antonio Tarver spoke with confidence about Terence Crawford's mentality, saying it carried the same fearless, commanding presence that great fighters possess.
I've been telling y'all for the longest. That boy got that energy. And you know what energy I'm talking about. What is that? Tarver energy.
Yes, sir.
Tarver. He got that.
Yes,
and so
sir.
you know, when you get that, we don't see nobody. Bro.
And Tarver turned his attention to Canelo Alvarez and offered a more critical opinion. He acknowledged that Canelo is tough, but said the Mexican star hasn't faced a truly challenging opponent in a while, and that his movement in the ring hasn't been as sharp recently. Tarver explained that being too comfortable can be dangerous. Even the best defenders can slow down because of it. Now, Canelo is stepping into the ring with a formidable opponent. His footwork hasn't been at its best lately, and he hasn't posed a serious threat in some time. Being in a comfort zone can make it easy to overlook what's necessary to prepare for someone like Crawford. Everyone knows Crawford is a highly skilled boxer with a record of 40-0 and 30 knockouts. His style is a switch-hitting puzzle that no opponent has solved. Since moving up to 140 pounds, he hasn't faced anyone else, but he dominated the 147-pound division by defeating Errol Spence Jr. and recently captured a world title at 150 pounds. Now he is moving up again to face one of the most dangerous fighters at 168 pounds, a bold and rare move that few can pull off successfully. Frank Martin shared his thoughts on how William Skull and Terence Crawford would approach fighting Canelo Alvarez. Skull adjusted his style to be more defensive after Canelo's last fight, which Martin felt was overly cautious. In contrast, Martin doesn't believe Crawford will adopt that approach. He expects Crawford to box intelligently, but also to take calculated shots, fighting Canelo in spurts rather than running away. Martin noted that Crawford may not have Canelo's size advantage, but he possesses other strengths, such as speed, which will allow him to compete effectively. He added that it is very likely Crawford could beat Canelo because his speed gives him an edge, especially as the smaller fighter.
Sometimes, man, like, just because a guy bigger, it don't always mean, like, you know, he can crack, but, you know, it's like Terence he gonna be the faster, you know, he gonna be the quicker fighter, the more explosive fighter too, I feel like.
By talking about the problems that smaller opponents face when fighting bigger ones, he made very clear points about how smaller, faster fighters often have an advantage over taller, heavier opponents. His reasoning makes sense, which is why quickness should be valued whether the fighters are physically equal or highly competitive. Being bigger doesn't always mean an advantage, because larger fighters are often slower. And when a smaller fighter faces a bigger one, especially if they're a puncher, they can use their speed to avoid damage. Smaller fighters often have the edge because of their quickness. In Crawford's case, the fight could redefine greatness. If he beats Canelo, who is physically bigger but has proven he can fight in multiple styles, Crawford would become the first man in the history of the four-belt era to hold undisputed titles in 3 different weight classes, something never done before. Not Mayweather, not Pacquiao, not Roy Jones Jr. This would be history written in bold letters. Some of Canelo Alvarez's past opponents are now standing against him. Floyd Mayweather Jr., a well-known figure who is still active today, was the boxer who defeated Canelo in one of his worst losses. Back in 2013, when Canelo was younger, Mayweather not only beat him, but also dominated him in a truly remarkable way. Interview 17. You could take a guy like Canelo. This guy can pick and choose who he wants to fight. And I'm going to tell you the truth about Canelo. It was easy, man. Take off easy. Y'all sitting up here praising this dude. But this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
You take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Even though the difference in weight could affect the fight, neither team has a clear physical edge over the other, which is why both are so confident. Brian B.C. McIntyre, the fighter's trainer, met his energy not with fire, but with a calm certainty that spoke volumes. It was clear he already knew what would happen, even though the details of their plan would remain secret. Bulma didn't want to put on a show for the cameras or add to the hype. Instead, he focused on the work behind the scenes, the discipline, the trust built over years, and the planning that would help them win. "We're just going to get out there and win," he stated. "Do everything you can to help us win. I'm not going to tell you the game plan or anything like that, but everyone really means that I'm sure we'll win." As it turns out, Crawford has a higher knockout rate, 73% versus 63.9% for Canelo, which is impressive considering Crawford fought in lighter classes for most of his career. Oscar de la Hoya, on the other hand, attacked the fight, the organizers, and even the dinner that Canelo, Crawford, and Turkey attended. He was angry, criticizing how friendly the boxers were with each other, saying it took the edge out of boxing. De La Hoya argued that fans don't watch to see admiration. They watch for the fire, stress, and raw energy that make fights feel like war. He said the atmosphere before today's fight is reminiscent of legendary matchups like Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier or Mike Tyson versus Mitch Green, noting those rivalries wouldn't have worked if the fighters had been seen meeting together beforehand.
Can you imagine Muhammad Ali or like Joe Frazier having dinner together? What? Can you imagine Mike Tyson and Mitch Green before a brawl? Hey, what the No boxing fan wants to see two fighters having dinner together.
We could have a dinner on Wednesday.
Then he said it again. The real excitement in boxing comes from the build-up. The stress, the mental stakes, make every round feel like life or death. When the promotional story feels forced or overproduced, it loses its spark. Fans want fights. They want to feel the anticipation, to believe a real war is about to erupt, not champagne and caviar while they stage a trilogy. Oscar even got personal, telling Bud to bring up the story of Canelo failing a drug test due to tainted meat, a scandal that has haunted Canelo for years. The truth can really provoke him, especially about his indulgences. But it's not just about facts. This is legacy. Crawford, a two-time undisputed champion, enters this fight with nothing left to prove, yet still craves the challenge that comes from rising to godlike status. Meanwhile, Canelo has held power so long that maintaining it may require taking down anyone who threatens his reign. British boxing reporter Gareth A. Davies added his voice, giving Crawford a stark reminder of the fight's potential intensity, making it clear that this showdown could get brutal.
Fight for both men. Canelo always looks for the knockout, as he says. He will be planting his feet. And as I said to Terence, are you prepared to be hit harder than you've ever been hit before? Obviously he doesn't want to be hit, but Canelo will hit him harder than anyone he's probably been in against hits hard, but it wasn't the same Errol Spence that he fought. And he's up against one of the all-time greats of Mexican boxing on September the 13th at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It's a really big fight for him. It's a legacy fight because his resume isn't anything like Saul Canelo Alvarez's legacy.
Davies makes it clear, Canelo is not going to box cute. He's coming to hurt, starting the fight on his heels, planting himself, and going for the knockout like he's on a mission. Crawford has never faced shots like the ones Canelo is about to throw. This will test not just skill, but toughness, heart, and pure will. Every clean hit could change everything. Davies asked the chilling question, is Crawford really ready for that much fire? He's faced a strong Errol Spence, but Canelo hits differently. On September 13th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Crawford will go up against one of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time. His record doesn't compare to Canelo Alvarez's, making this a heritage fight. From the start, it's clear this won't be a normal match. It's about history, pride, and strong emotions. The tension builds with each press conference, quote, and stare down. Whether it's calculated strategy or full-on intensity, all eyes will be on Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford when they finally collide, and history will be on one side or the other. If this discussion got your blood pumping, hit the like button, subscribe for more fight talk, and share your